Hey there everyone. Sorry about the lousy video quality, but I decided to just do the video on my computer this time around rather than my camera because I figured it's better to tape something than nothing, and I've had really long days recently, so it's been kind of a process to set up my camera. But that said, I had a couple of things that I wanted to chat with you about. First is journals. This is a very fun topic, I think, and I had mentioned it in my kind of New Year's video that I wanted to get back into writing and reading more. And so since then, I've kind of gotten into looking at the YouTube videos relating to journaling. And unfortunately, I have not really found a whole lot related to how I journal. I am a traditional journaler, meaning I write. That's it. I don't do artistic stuff. I don't doodle. I don't Mod Podge. I don't do any of that. Not that I wouldn't love to. I really would like to. I've just never been that way. I've never been a doodler. I've never been able to use my journal in kind of more of a scrappy, creative way. Hopefully one day I will figure that out, but for now it's not really in the works. But I wanted to go over what I do to journal because I've realized that there's kind of conflicting ideas out there about how to journal, what to journal, what supplies you need. I've heard to get a really nice journal to inspire you versus get just a really cheap journal so that you won't be upset if you don't use it. Like even just a composition book or a school notebook. All of that is fine. All of that is perfectly good and great, no matter what or how. It's all based on you and what you prefer and how you want to journal. That said, I'm going to show you my journals and what I've done over the years. Now, I started trying to keep a diary basically when I was I don't know if I was as young as in elementary school. I remember my aunt bought me a cute little diary once with a little lock on it, a little flimsy lock, and I thought that was great, so I tried to write a diary, and after, I don't know, a few days, couple of weeks, I totally gave up on it. And that brings me to my first point. How often do you need to write? As often as you want to, or not. I've seen a lot of people, and I've read a lot of people's suggestion that you need to journal like 3 pages a day. For example, that's a very common one. And I believe that is brought up in the book, The Artist's Way, which I have not read yet. It is on my list, but I've heard that it's a very good way to get into journaling. 3 pages. I tried that a couple of times. I was never able to do it. I really seriously dislike the idea of doing, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, if I really don't know what to write. The idea is good. The idea is that if you just keep on writing, good stuff will come out. But to me, it's a waste of paper to have all the bad stuff in between. So I gave up on my diary for a while. And then I picked it up again in high school. And what I did was I didn't set a specific time frame for myself. So a specific number of pages, a specific, every day I have to write. I just wrote in it when I felt like it. And that worked much better for me than the previous, try to write every day. Where I ran into problems, and actually here, as I go through that, I'll show you. This was my first completed journal, diary. This I got when I was in high school. It was a gift from my mom. And the nice thing about it is it's actually just, hopefully I don't have anything too incriminating in there. It's just a cover. See, this will come off and I can put a new journal in there, which is actually really nice. This is the only one like this that I have. And I did try in this journal to doodle a little bit. I have random pictures that I drew. Actually, when I went home and got this, I had forgotten that I put pictures in here that I drew, and I was looking through some of them and thinking, you know, I'm not really as bad of an artist as I thought I was. But, you know, it's a whole lot. I'm not going to, unfortunately, show you any of this because it's a whole lot of teenage angst. But this was the first one that I completed. And I also had stuck in here newspaper clippings, pictures, like, here's one that maybe I can show you. I had videos. This is a clipping for the Renaissance Fair. So I put stuff like that, and I know I had pictures in here from a catalog that I found that had old paintings that I really liked, and now, of course, I can't find any of them. But so I did stick stuff in here, and that was okay. But I completed this one. I had this one from high school through, I believe, yeah, graduating high school. Last entry is in 1999, right before I left for the Army. First one is in 1996. So 3 years. But it worked. And then after that, I went off to the military, did other things, but I kept up with journaling. I can't remember which one of these. I think this one is my next completed journal. I love this. Again, this was a gift from my mom, and it's just a beautifully bound leather book. The museum company is who made it. It's held up really well. It has a frazzled little bookmark. And this one, again, I kept the same way. I did add in I stuck in a couple of things here and there when I didn't have my book or when I found a picture I liked. But overall, I write. I fill it all up with writing, and that's all that I do. And I've noticed a lot of people putting up journaling videos. It's all art journaling with a lot extra in addition to the writing. And mine is just, page after page after page of writing. That's it. Okay, now, somewhere in the midst of this one, I got distracted and I started filling in this one. And I think what happened, and let's see how long this one is from. You see that? My great-grandpa. I have a picture of my great-grandpa in there. I started this one in, again, 1999. And I finished it. I was already with my ex, it looks like. I was engaged, which was 2008. 1999 to 2008. That's a big span. But again, so there were long periods that I did not write, didn't write anything. And it would have been either because I didn't have the book physically in hand. Like when I was in the Army, I moved around a lot. I didn't want something so personal as my diary hanging around. The other thing I noticed, and this is why I wanted to take up journaling again this year, I noticed a little while back that I started to, or it was very common for me to just journal when I was feeling down, when I was upset about something, depressed about something. And so I think I don't remember if I mentioned this in the other video, but I wanted to change that with getting back into my journal now, because I realized a lot of my journal is really depressing. I don't plan on keeping this for future generations, but if I did, I would want them to know more about me than just when I was feeling down in the dumps, you know. just totally, I don't know, I sound like off in my own little world in some of these journals. So I realized that was a problem too, because over those long spans that I did not write, the reason was because I was happy. I didn't need somebody to listen to my complaints. I was happy, I was in a good mood, so I didn't write. And I realized I wanted to change that. But back to my journals. So at some point, I started writing in this one. Again, it's a nice leather-bound journal. This one, I believe, could still be available at Barnes & Noble. I think that's where I picked this up. But I really like this because it's a slim, it's got gold leafing, it's sturdy, got the little bookmark, and it's simple. I really like that it was simple. But again, this was not for my everyday, well, not everyday, for my regular journaling. I really prefer something a little bit more ornate, something pretty. But I will say this type of journal is perfect for travel. In fact, that's why I got this. This started out as a travel journal because it will fit in your purse. It's thin, it's lightweight. It is very good for that. On that note, at the end of this, I'm going to show you what I think I would prefer in future for taking around with me. But again, as you can see, writing. Lots and lots of writing. And this particular book has a lot of small lines, which was fine by me because I have a habit. I've always written very small. I don't particularly like how my handwriting looks, but that's another thing I'm going to get to in my current journal. Over the new year, I also decided I wanted to practice my handwriting, and I want to learn to like my handwriting because I figured that, and I think I'm correct in that, it helps me enjoy writing more if I write nicely. So that was the next one. And then after that one was also complete. After that one, I kind of got off the wagon. I fell off the wagon. I was in kind of a bad spot for a while. And I had other journals. I just things started being all over the place. I was writing in too many different places. It wasn't consistent or chronological, and I got irritated with it. One journal, I think I had this one. I'm not sure at what point in time. This is a very nice one. Again, a gift. Almost all of my journals were gifts. I like this one. It's more of a suede leather. It's softer than the others. But what I've noticed, the one thing I don't like is the cover is kind of coming unglued. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's coming a little bit unglued, which is a bit of an annoyance to me. But the pages are very nice. This is mostly blank. This one's mostly blank. I have to figure out what to do with it. I really only used that much. I only used a couple of pages. And I think I even say in here I got really irritated that all of my writing was in a different spot. So not really sure what I want to do with that. I'm going to have to figure it out. But this was also a very nice one that I have to do something with. And I also had this one, which is smaller. It's kind of more of a pocket size. This one is, I think this is a paperblanks. Paperblanks are paperblanks. They're very distinct. They have these beautiful covers. This one is one of the magnetic ones. Opens up this way. And again, they have the little bookmark. The pages are lined. And this one I used longer. This one I used, you can see where my bookmark is, I've used about half of it, which is unfortunate because now I'm not sure what to do with this because I love this cover. But I don't love the information that's in this journal because this was at a particularly low point in my life. So again, I've kept, I pointed out I have a couple of other paper blanks that were used for Books of Shadows or attempts at Books of Shadows. All of these I have kept because I'm hoping to find a way to rebind them. Bookbinding does not look all that complicated. I think I can do it using these covers. I've just been afraid to try it so far. So when I figure that out, I think I will try to repurpose these beautiful journals. Okay, my current journal. This is my current journal. I love this one. This is again kind of a suede leather. I believe this was also a gift. I may have bought this one, but I'm pretty sure it was a gift. Usually always from my mom around Christmas time or a birthday. And this is the one that I was using, stopped using, and then I decided around New Year to pick it up again because I do love this book. I have a little tab of an unfinished portion in here, but otherwise I don't usually mark it. Again, it's got a bookmark. All of mine have similar characteristics. Now this particular one, it's bound in the same way as that red suede one, and the pages have a similar little watermark at the bottom, this thing here. So I believe these are the same printer, and these are handmade in Italy. And it just says Barnes & Noble Inc. So these are sold by Barnes & Noble, but they're made in Italy. And what I did was I started up with this again. And I will show you, I don't know, well, I don't really want to show you in my journal, but I'll have to find a comparison of my handwriting. Maybe if I do it further away. That's my regular handwriting. And then what I did at the new year, as of the new year, I've been trying to write. There's no difference, is there? If you look at it, actually reading it, there is a big difference in my writing. My writing is much nicer than it was. And it really didn't take a whole lot. The only thing is a change in arm movement and a concentration on making my letters uniform. So uniform spacing, uniform sizing. It makes a huge aesthetic difference, improvement, I think, in my writing, in my wanting to read what I'm writing, in my wanting to write. I will try to, this video is getting a little bit long-winded, so I'll try to make a note and do another video on what I'm using to help me improve my handwriting. And I'll try to give examples of my handwriting. I think that would be nice for those who are interested. So this is my current journal. And again, I am not writing in it every day, but pretty nearly every day. I've gotten to where I'm okay with spending a little time either in the morning or in the evening just journaling because it's relaxing to me. So I'm really, for the first time in my life, I'm really starting to enjoy writing a little bit every day. And I'm excited about that. All right, so I promised as a wrap-up my ideas for what might be good in future. I'm kind of conflicted because I love my beautiful journals. But in the past I have traveled a lot and I hope to travel a lot again. So I'm wondering if it might be a good idea to have something more portable as a journal. If so, what I would do, I've decided that I prefer these guys. This is a Leuchtturm 1917. There are several videos out there about these. The way I learned about them is through Boho Berry. I absolutely adore her and her bullet journaling. She is much more creative and artistic than I will ever be. But she had mentioned the Leuchtturm, and she does a very good comparison of the Leuchtturm and the Moleskine, because I had been using Moleskines for other things for ages. And this one I decided I liked better because, for one thing, it's German, and all things German I approve of. But it's very similar to the Moleskine. It's got this elastic but it's a bit wider. The overall width is a bit wider. And what most people really enjoy about these over the Moleskines are that it includes a table of contents. The first 3 pages are outlined as a table of contents. Additionally, once you get into the pages, I'll find a blank page. I got the dot grid, which is nice. I'm experimenting with that. But all of the pages are numbered, which is not true of the Moleskines and is not true of most journals. But these are numbered to help you with your indexing. Additionally, this does also have the benefit of the little flap in the back like the Moleskines have. And the other nice thing that this comes with is stickers. They're inside the flap. I forgot to get them, but there are stickers so you can label your journal, and they even have one for the sides. So if you want to archive, that would be, you could put the year, you could put the theme, whatever. And that I think is just brilliant. I love that. So this will fit in the purse, my purse anyway. It's lightweight, thin, durable. I think this would make a very good option for a traveling journal. One journal I did not bring over here, but that's okay because I think that's going to be part of another video at some point later because of the theme of the journal. I could have, well, I may have brought over here because I think one thing I can do to, get over the fact that this is so plain is cover it up. Cover it up with pictures, pretty things, and that might be just as well for me. It might be even more meaningful. Who knows? But I like these. And the other reason I think this would be a good thing to keep in the purse is because currently I have these little notebooks. I know Moleskine does something similar to this, a plain one. It's just a little floppy notebook, just lined. And I keep these around, and I currently am hanging out with 2 of these in my purse at any given time. And I've fooled around with the idea of creating or buying from Etsy a Midori style cover to just put these into to have them central in my purse. But I don't know, right now it's not very necessary, but that was another idea. If you like the Midori style notebooks, if you have these little things, these work as well for travel. Okay, so in order to not make this too horribly long, which it already is, I'm going to stop there. I just wanted to give my 2 bits on journaling and let you know that if you do not doodle and scrapbook your journals, it's okay. There are more of us out there. Writing in your journal is also perfectly fine. It's what I enjoy, and hopefully I will have a few other tidbits for you in future, because putting this together has given me some more ideas of other things you might like to know about journaling and writing. So all that is yet to come, and thank you for hanging out with me this long. Blessed be to all of you, and see you in the next video.